晚上好，各位家长、同学们好啊！欢迎来到乐见直播间。今天是乐见顶级技术美高的招生官访谈。今天呢，我们有幸请来了 Steve Downs 老师。Steve Downs 老师是 Tabor 的 Academy 的招生办，并且是他们中文的 AP 老师。所以呢，一会儿 Steve 老师会给我们露两手他的中文，然后我简单介绍一下背景啊，非常非常厉害首先呢，他本科是哈佛大学历史专业，然后呢，研究生又到了这个约翰霍普金斯 JHU 学的是那个 International Studies，就是国际研究。然后呢，目前呢，他在这个 Tabor Academy。这个教 AP 中文，然后还做很多的这个其他的义务因为他在那儿已经多年了。这个老师会介绍一下他在这个 Tabor Academy 的经验。So Steve, thank you very much for joining Joyview today and talking to our parents. I'm very happy to have you. And please, I just did a little bit introduction for you. Please share something. Maybe I missed something, and you can share it yourself, and I'll translate for you.
Thank you so much, Diego. I appreciate the kind and full introduction. I don't really have anything to add for background. 今天我真的很高兴跟你们交流，介绍一下 Tabor 我们校园我们的课我们的活动，我们看10张照片，就是表示 Tabor 的特点。And excuse my poor Chinese, please. I'll speak in English, and I'm grateful to Diego for translating.
已经非常好了，您真的已经是这个招生办的第一人了，能这么流利的讲中文，我觉得很多家长会很开心以后跟您对接。Actually, I missed the point. 这个Steve 老师刚才我忘记了，但我突然这个看到了我的笔记，他已经在 Tabor 已经30年了所以非常不简单。他是少数在 Tabor 超过30年的老师，所以这个今天欢迎 Steve， 非常资深的 Tabor 老师。
And I'm putting up a picture, an aerial photograph of our campus.
Wow.
Is this showing up all right on the screen?
Yeah, it's showing pretty nice. Yeah, and it's beautiful. 这个大家看了，这个是 Tabor 的这个学校，简直是就像一幅油画似的。
And if I may start with a question that you may be asking, or you may want to ask to the schools that you look at and visit, which is, what is special about your school? Our admission director had a saying, which was that we boarding schools in the US, we're about 80% similar. We have beautiful campuses, small classes, maybe 10, 12, 14 students per class. Faculty know students well, nice facilities. And then we're about 20% unique. And so I'd like to talk a little about what I believe is unique about Tabor. What are Tabor's special qualities?
Okay, thank you, Steve. Steve 老师说了，这个 Steve 老师非常这个真诚这个就说了，一上来就说，其实80%的这个美国顶级寄宿高中，因为都是很优秀所以80%相似的，比如说很小的10到14人的这个教室这个教学的人数，包括呢很安全，然后很优美等等，有很多俱乐部。但是呢，有20%，那每个学校是不同的。然后今天 Steve 老师会帮我们着重介绍一下这个不同的20%首先大家可以看了，这个紧挨着这个海，就是很不一样。Okay, Steve, thank you.
So the three special qualities or unique qualities I'll just briefly describe at Tabor. One is our location, the second is our size, and the third is our international and global spirit and connection. This photograph of an aerial view of Tabor, I think, speaks to location probably better than I can put into words.
Yeah.
We are on the Atlantic Ocean here. The school is in a small town. It's called Marion. Population is around 4,000 people. And I think you can get a sense that the campus is not walled off from the town. Down on the lower left of this photograph, that's the town with some docks. And then where the playing fields begin, That's Tabor, running for around half a kilometer along the ocean. The campus also extends beyond the lower right, and those are dormitories and fields down in that area, and some central campus buildings in the center. We and this we're about 1 hour south of Boston. There's a fairly large mall around 10 minutes away from Tabor by car. And so we have this location it combines the advantages of being in a small town with the advantages of being located close to airports and cities and shopping areas. One thing that we'll look at that I'd like to introduce later on are our ocean programs. Some of them are unique to Tabor and some of them are relatively difficult to find. And I'll be talking about those in a minute.
OK 谢谢 Steve 老师。首先呢 ，Steve 老师有3点，这20%让 Tabor 有什么不一样跟别的学校呢？就是 Steve 老师说了有3点。第一呢是它的地理位置，第二是它的规模，第三呢是它的这个国际的这个跟国际接轨和关联的方式。所以呢，第一个他先说这个地方有什么不一样呢？大家可以看到，其实旁边不是个湖我第一次看这个，我跟 Steve 老师还说，哇，你的旁边的湖很美，然后马上这个老师就纠正了我，这个是海是大西洋海岸。所以呢，这个紧挨着学校，学校呢从哪儿开始呢？大家看整个屏幕，从这个挨着靠海，包括这个就是橄榄球场、棒球场，还有右下角的那些，还有这个网球场，大家可以看到在右下角，还有延伸的都是属于这个 Tabor 学校的。然后呢，左边呢再往那边去就是这个城市的一部分。这个城市呢是叫 Marion， 它有4000人。然后呢，地理位置非常好，离波士顿这么大的城市只有1个小时。然后呢，离学校开车10分钟呢，也有这个他们的这个购物中心，这个城市的购物中心。所以不管是地理位置还是这个海上的海洋运动，那 Tabor 都是有一个独特的优势。Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Diego. Thank you for the excellent translation also.
I'm afraid to translate wrong when you're here because you're fluent in Chinese. So yeah, I'll try my best. Okay, Steve.
Thank you so much. And for size of the school, we have 530 students. And that's, as you look at schools, I think perhaps you'll agree, we are a medium-sized schools. You may look at schools that have 300 or 400 students that have the advantage of a very close-knit community where everyone knows everyone, and the emphasis is on those personal friendships and connections. And then you may look at larger boarding schools, 600, 700, 800, or 1,000 students, where the emphasis is on a variety of programs, many programs and opportunities to choose from. And we are a combination of each. It's not that one size is better than another. It's just a distinctive quality of the school. We're big enough to have, for instance, advanced programs in marine science. We have a school schooner, the Tabor Boy. That's, if you look right near the top of the screen, the largest ship in the harbor, which is black. The hull is black. It's at anchor there on the screen. So we're big enough to have special programs, but we're small enough so that we are close. We have a friendly and an inclusive school community.
Okay. So sorry, Steve. One thing I didn't catch is what's the exact student size at Tabor?
535 students.
535. Okay. Great number. Steve 老师刚刚说了，其实这个顶级的美国寄宿高中其实可以分2个类型，一个是非常小而美的就是这个大家都互相认识，然后叫出来名字，比如说在300到400这个规模，然后稍微更大一些呢，其实就可能有600到1000都有所以的话I apologize, I must connect the battery, sorry. That was unexpected. Don't want this to happen. Okay, should be good now. Okay, yeah, we're good now. And so Tabor 学校呢，其实他们是正在中间，就是不大不小 这两个他都占，不但是大家很这个亲密、很团结，而且他们有很多不同的 program。然后因为 Tabor 的话有这个老师说了，一共准确的535个学生。然后呢，他们这个老师还给大家看了一个船，他们有这个船叫 Tabor Boy。Steve, can you use your cursor to point that to that ship again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll do it. Here's the cursor and there's the Tabor Boy. It's 30
Okay.
meters long.
哇，这个是属于 Tabor 这个 Academy 学校的一艘船，它是30米长的一艘船。所以呢，他们这个尤其喜欢海洋生物、海上跟任何海上有关的专业和兴趣爱好的学生呢，在这儿就是很有福气了，因为他们就靠着海，而且还有自己的船舶。Thanks, Steve.
And third is our international and global connection. Our first international student arrived at Tabor from Japan in 1890, over 130 years ago. And we as a community are our international students and our global connections through school exchanges, through travel, through programs here for the school and in our classes. It's part of the fabric and the character of the school. When we experience all the dislocations and events of COVID for the past couple of years, and for the school year 2020-21, when some of our international students could not be here. They studied remotely, they were at home due to travel restrictions. We all commented on how the school missed our international students. It just wasn't the same place. So the global and international presence at Tabor makes us who we are.
OK，第三个的话，其实 Tabor 很注重，而且很自豪他们的国际化啊，就是国际生给他们带来了不同的这个体验，给整个学校和学生带来不同体验。他们最早的第一个国际生有详细的记录，就是1890年这么早，1890年第一个国际学生来自于日本。那从这开始，他们每年就会源源不断来吸取更多的这个国际人才，所以他们是非常有这个国际性的文化在里边。然后Steve 老师也说了，在2020年和2021年，当学生不能来上课，美国当时也是一个锁死的状态，然后这个 lockdown 的一个情况下，其实老师们感觉学校真的很不一样，就是每一个人都感觉这个学校变了，就是因为没有这些国际生的到来，整个这种国际化的文化都没有得到发展和大家的这个体验就整个体验其实就不是他们的原来的这个学校了。所以这个可以感觉到，这个作为3大要点international connection 作为他们的第3大要点的话，我觉得虽然每个学校都说就是我们很欢迎国际学生，但是从 Steve 老师把它当做一大要点来说，我觉得还是很有感触的。而且他说了，当时学校的人都很痛心，因为国际生的这个因为都在家隔离，导致大家的体验也是跟以前不一样了，他们也很痛心。Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Diego. Perhaps you're familiar with the phrase in English, heart and soul. And I'll spend a few minutes on each of these. I think of academics, our academic program, as the heart of Tabor. And if I were to sum up the progression that students pass through in 4 years at Tabor, I would say that 9th and 10th grade are devoted to building a foundation, to introductory courses with an emphasis on skills in history, in English language and literature, in science courses, in mathematics, and in a foreign language. Since you already speak 2 languages fluently, we do not require you to take a 3rd language, but that option is available. Then for 11th and 12th grade, we have in all disciplines, we have advanced level courses. We are an AP program school. We also have advanced courses that we call AT, advanced topics, that include the AP curriculum, but also explore other areas. And sometimes we get questions about independent study or specialized topics. And we hope that as you pass, as a Tabor student, when you get to 11th and 12th grade, that you have developed a specialized interest, and a specialized academic interest. That might be expressed in an AT or AP class. There's also an opportunity to design and apply for an independent study. For example, I had an advisee a couple of years ago who was quite interested in psychology. He took an online psychology course over the summer before his junior year, and then he initiated a psychology club, and I'll talk about clubs a little bit later on. And he had 10 students join him and another student leader. They were the co-heads for the psychology club. It met all year long. And by the time we were approaching the second trimester, the winter trimester, he applied for an independent study project to prepare for the AP exam in May. His independent study was approved, and that course consisted of his meeting weekly with one of the school counselors from our counseling department who has a background in psychology, and then taking the AP exam. We also have a range. Our science department has built a range of STEM courses in coding, in engineering, in robotics, and a good number of our students participate in the Massachusetts Science and Engineering Fair. And that's a state competition in which students design their own projects and then follow through and apply for them. And they are in the process of doing that now. So that's a quick look at the heart, what I think of as the heart of Tabor, which is our academic program. Sorry, Diego, that was a little bit long.
Okay. Yeah, I was holding my breath there. Okay. Thanks, Steve. But that was very, very thorough. Yeah, I think I wrote most of it down. Okay. Correct me, please fill me in, since you can understand most of what I say. 首先呢，这个学术呢，肯定是任何学校，尤其是 Tabor Academy 的这个核心啊，老师已经说了。然后9到10年级呢，是他们的 foundation， 老师用了这个词，就是它的这个基石和根基。那学生在这个9到10年级呢，主要就是把大家通常学的，就像我之前在那个 Wisconsin 的这个高中似的，就是把英语啊、历史啊、科学、数学还有外国语啊来学好。我记得当时我学的是日语，然后又试了西班牙语。但是呢，他说中国孩子呢有一个福利，因为已经会2种语言了，英语和中文，那其实可以不选的啊。但是选一个，我觉得是没有坏处。老师说啊，这样的话就有3种语言了。然后呢，那11到12年级呢，就是可以开始他们的这个更深入的研究和课程了。那这个 Tabor Academy 是一个 AP 的这个模式。那它还除了 AP 呢，还有一种叫 AT 啊，叫 Advanced Topics， 就是更深奥的这个课题啊。我觉得这些的话，就是学生的个人的兴趣爱好都可以在这个 AT， 如果 AP 满足不了的话，在 AT 可以得到老师的帮助和发展。然后呢，Steve 老师举了一个例子，之前呢，他有一个学生，然后喜欢心理学。那心理学呢，他其实从暑假呢就自己上了一些课啊。我不知道这个是哪种方式，但是比如说我们有些学生会上 Coursera 啊，乐见的学生。So I just made that assumption because our students sometimes take Coursera, so it could be some other online courses. 所以这个学生学了这个 online course， 然后在他的11年级呢，他就开了一个心理学俱乐部，在这个 Tabor Academy 也获得了非常受欢迎。然后他通过这个自己的推荐，然后让10个学生加入了他这个俱乐部。然后大家我相信也得到了很好的这个在心理学上面有很多很好的延展。然后呢，最后呢，老师说他呢又跟一些这个导师和 counselor 在心理学方面有很强的产出。然后最后他这个考了 AP 心理学的这个考试。除了这个案例呢，其实 Tabor 呢，老师说了，其实他们很注重，尤其是 STEM courses 啊，就是 Science, Technology 和 Engineering 和 Mathematics。然后呢，并且每年呢都会参加麻省的一个叫 Science and Engineering Fair 的比赛。然后呢，这个里边呢，他们可能会带自己喜欢的，比如说像机器人的俱乐部，或者是编程的这些俱乐部，会拿到自己的这个研究成果呀，还有这些自己的智慧去参加这个 Massachusetts 这个 Science and Engineering Fair 的比赛。那我想在这里，我想替家长抛出一个问题啊，也是我的问题，就以往的情况下，学生在这个Science and Engineering Fair，Steve 有没有赢一些？Have they won anything? Our students from Tabor?
Yes, actually, it was last year we had 6 students apply to the MSEF, and there are
Mm,
some related competitions that go under a different title, and I
mm.
believe 3 of them either took places. They do first place, second place, third place. So it was pretty. Not. I don't mean to brag too much, but it was really a remarkable result.
Okay. And the thing they competed in, was it like robotics or like was it something specific?
It was very, yes, it was specific. It was quite a wide range.
Okay.
One project was to develop AI to
Okay.
read sign language. And another one was to develop a program to use oyster shells for ice prevention, to use on highways for ice prevention.
Wow. That sounds very novel. Yeah.
Yeah,
OK，this is amazing. OK，我给老师翻译一下，我忘了之前这个咱们简称就 MSEF 吧，这个比赛啊，这个麻省的。然后去年 Tabor Academy 有6个学生，然后3个都获奖了啊。然后我就问老师有没有具体的，他们到底哪个项目获奖了？然后这个其实非常了不起。第一个呢是用人工智能来帮助这个盲人来读这个就是盲人的这个键盘啊，就是那些信息的sorry，说错了，这个太高深了，就是用人工智能来读手语啊，这个是一个学生的项目，然后赢得了奖牌。然后另外一个呢是用贝壳，那我想贝壳肯定是跟海有关了，这个也是 Tabor 这个首屈一指，在海洋生物研究肯定是最厉害的。他用贝壳来放在公路的铺垫物里边，然后防止它们就是结冰。因为这个大冷天，因为我当时也是 Wisconsin 的，每年其实我们有一种叫黑冰 （black ice），right Steve？所以这个 black ice 其实是让车看不见的，因为你看见好像是路，但是你一踩刹车，你车就完全就出去了，可能撞到别的车或者掉沟里了，当时非常危险。所以呢，这些学生就是他们用了贝壳的这个材料，然后融入在这个公路的材料里边，来防止冬天车滑出去啊。我觉得这个简直是非常有社会责任心。Yeah, I was saying this is very it has a lot to do with being a good citizen, right? Good citizenship, solving world problems. So for the safety of everyone.
yeah.
Amazing. Okay, thanks, Steve.
Thank you for asking about about the MSEF competition. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. And I
And,
would say the oyster has something to do with because we're next to the ocean. So of course, like marine biology and using things from the ocean definitely is something many students are interested in. Correct, Steve?
yeah, correct. And it's a lead in really to this next topic.
Mhm.
It's a question that many students in the admission process express an interest in marine science, and they may have experience with it, or they might not have experience with it. So a start off question is can I do these things? Can I sail on the Tabor Boy? Can I take a marine science class?
Mm.
Can I sail on the sailing team or row on the rowing team? And basically you have to, the only qualification is that you have to be able to swim, and that's for safety. We do a swim test on orientation, the opening orientation, and it's a pretty simple swim test. You swim about 30 meters, tread water for a minute, and then swim back. Once you've done that, you're eligible for all of these programs. And the programs are focused on welcoming beginners as well as developing skills to an advanced level. The Tabor Boy, this 90-foot schooner, 30-meter schooner, is one of 3 areas where Tabor connects with its ocean environment. And students can sign up for the Tabor to be on the crew of the Tabor Boy in the fall or the spring as their afternoon co-curricular activity. There's also a summer orientation cruise on the Tabor Boy for new students. So if you're a new Tabor student next summer, this is after your application and enrollment, you can come for 5 days, live on the Tabor Boy with other new students and faculty, and begin your adjustment to Tabor.
The last part, they can live on the boat for 5 days. Did you say that, Steve?
Yes, there are berths. It doesn't, it's a little bit hard to picture looking at the schooner, but there are berths for, I think it's 16 people. So under the deck. So that would be 14 students and then two faculty, the ship's captain who is faculty, and then another faculty chaperone.
Wow. OK, I'll try to translate that. 这个首先呢，大家来 Tabor Academy 其实都是喜欢海洋的。那怎么来加入这些独特的海洋的这个不同的项目呢？首先呢，你得会游泳。老师说的很直接，就你刚到 Tabor，如果你说你想加入的话，那他会给你一个简单的游泳测试，就是为了大家的安全啊，这个也可以理解。然后呢，其实呢，你就可以参加各种各样的这个海洋项目了，比如海洋生物啊，还有这个跟这个 Tabor Boy 有关的项目或者帆船等等啊，一系列。这个老师还没有多说，我想一会儿可能会告诉我们。然后呢，如果学生这个高一的学生到来 Tabor 的那个暑假呢，其实他们的这个就是美国一般新生都会有个叫 orientation 啊，就是这个新生接待新生的一个程序。当时我也有这个，不管高中还是大学。那这个的话，如果学生能通过游泳考试的话，那他们其实可以选择在这个 Tabor Boy 上可以待5天。因为我以为我听错了，我问老师真的可以待5天吗？老师说可以。为什么呢？因为这个船底下Steve, can you use your cursor to point to where the beds are, underneath? Yeah, 在那边。所以老师说这底下有16个可睡的床位啊，2个就是给老师的或者给水手，然后剩下可以有14个学生。所以我觉得这个的话是一个非常不一样的体验。那可想而知，这个对国际学生和这个本地学生的一个融入啊，也非常有帮助。因为待5天，在任何这么小的空间待5天，我想就不是朋友也肯定是朋友了。所以我觉得这个还是很有意思。Thanks, Steve.
Sure, thank you. And then there are two other ocean aspects of Tabor's life and of life at Tabor. One of them is our curriculum, our ocean curriculum. We are, I believe, we're the only school with a marine science building. It's right on the ocean. It has wet labs and tanks on the first floor with ocean water flowing through them, where students can collect ocean life and bring it there to research it and understand it. And there are classrooms on the second floor. And there's a wide range of programs to understand and learn how to protect the environment. And the third area is our spring sports, rowing and crew. And we'll look a little bit more at those in a minute. But those are available for beginners as well as advanced sailors and rowers. And they provide a chance to be part of a team, to compete against other schools and learn the skills that pertain to those sports.
OK, thank you. 首先呢，这个可能是第4个独特点吧。刚才老师这3个独特点，我觉得这个是第4个，甚至就是它可能是唯一高中有一个自己的这个海洋生物的这个楼啊，就是海洋生物研究。然后它有这个不知道怎么翻译啊。Steve, I think you used the word wet lab, right? Wet lab?
Yes.
OK.
Yeah. So it's a lab in that it's hands-on, experiential, and it's wet because the ocean water is pumped into the tanks so that ocean life can be put in the tanks that's gathered in this area.
OK, got it. OK, got it. So it's like when I was at UC Santa Cruz, right? The university had a wet lab. They can have, it's huge. They had like some kind of mammal or like dolphin in there, something like that, right?
Yes, these are smaller. They're not big
Oh yeah,
enough.
right, right. Got it, yeah. 所以老师说 wet lab，OK，我现在明白了，就是他们做实验吧，他们需要这个海水，所以他那有这个很大的这个算是空间吧，或者是可以装海水的，我觉得是跟可能玻璃缸差不多，然后可以把这个海洋生物放进去。当然了，当时我在那个 UC Santa Cruz 时候，他们也有这种的wet lab，当然它是大学了，所以这个面积肯定更大。当时我记得他们可以放一条应该是鲸鱼进去，还是很恐怖的一个大型动物。但是 Steve 老师说了，他们可能这边会稍微小一点，因为毕竟是高中嘛。所以，但是这个已经很独特了，可以亲自在海水里边跟这个生物和动物、植物互动，然后做实验。我觉得哇，这个肯定是美国首屈一指。 然后呢，接下来呢，Steve 老师又谈了谈，就是跟海水有关的2个俱乐部，一个是 rowing 啊，就是划桨，然后另外是 curling 啊，抱歉，这2个的英文可能中文我可能翻译不是特别，可能不太确切啊，但是都是跟划桨的这些船类的体育有关。然后他们从初学者到非常高级，甚至参加比赛的学生都有啊，不同的等级的。
So this is the spirit or the soul of Tabor. If academics are our heart, our sense of belonging, of being included in the community is the soul of Tabor. And we know from experience that this is a key part of a boarding school experience for all students, whether they're domestic or international. In our international center programs, all of those programs are set up to include both domestic, American, and international students. And this is a nice moment here, these 2 photographs. In September, we invite new international students. We had 30 of them this year to come to campus 3 days early and be part of a new international student orientation. So this year, our 30 new international students were joined by 60 global partners. Global partners are volunteer returning students who help international students adjust. And this was part 2 of international orientation. This was around October 1st, and every new international student was invited by a local family to go out to dinner. And surely this is a simple thing to go out to dinner, but actually it's quite symbolic and quite representative of the experience we hope new international students will have. And I think these 2 photographs capture the spirit of it. I have discovered that if I ask an international student at graduation time, 3 or 4 years after these photographs, do you remember the host family dinner you went to freshman year? 100% of international students will say, I remember the dinner, and often they will say, I am still friends with the student and the family that invited me out for dinner. So this is when admission families ask us, what's it like? What does it feel like? We see what the programs are, but what is this spirit and feeling of being an international student at Tabor? This is what we work toward. And I don't mean to make it all sound easy. Some of this is challenging, adjusting to a new environment, living with a roommate from a different country. If you're international in 9th grade, you'll have an American roommate, eating new kinds of food, making new kinds of friends, being in an English language environment. All of this is new, but this is what we aim toward. A sense of community, which I think is the spirit of our school.
Wow, yeah, that's very touching, actually. Yeah, very heart touching. Okay, I'll do it in Chinese. 刚刚 Steve 老师说的，我觉得非常感人。就是从他的话术来，如果家长如果能听懂这个英文的话，其实能感到他的真诚和 Tabor 真的就是很注重就是国际学生的感受，也是我们现在线上的每位学生就是肯定是一个国际学生，如果到 Tabor Academy。然后呢，我简单翻译一下啊。然后之前我可能要问 Steve 一些 clarification。So Steve, so I wrote down the 30 by 30 thing, 30 international students coming 30 days early. So would they be coming, for example, I assume in sometime in August, or how does that work?
They come 3 days early.
Oh, 3 days already. Okay, got it. That makes sense. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Okay, 抱歉，刚才我那个没听清楚。就是老师说30个国际学生呢，学校都会让他们比别的学生早来3天，所以早来3天呢，其实他们呢会被60个之前的学生就是之前这个不同年级的甚至毕业的学生来接待。然后呢，并且呢，在10月1号呢，每一个学生都会被当地学生的家庭，就这个是照片了，就是老师给了2个照片。被他们家庭这个邀请去吃晚饭当然这个吃晚饭它意义不仅仅在于晚饭，因为老师说了，在毕业时候，如果Steve 老师问任何的国际学生，你记不记得当天你刚来4年前你第一次来那个晚饭，100%学生都会记着，而且会跟他的这个请他的这个家庭和同学都会大部分保持着非常紧密的联系。 所以我觉得这整套的一个系统，其实都是让国际学生感觉不光是在这个城市里，在这个学校里，甚至可以融入这个每个这个学生的家庭，当地学生的家庭，我觉得这个会给学生带来很多安全感。谢谢。
So this experience and sense of community, dormitory life is at the middle of it. We had last night, our student activities office sent out an email to all students and faculty listing the events for this weekend, the activities that students will be able to participate in this weekend. Some of them are off campus. There are trips to malls and to restaurants. There are community service opportunities. There are games with other schools on Saturdays. But many of the activities are located in our dormitories. We have 15 dormitories, so our dormitories tend to be medium-sized, around 15, 20, 25 students. And through a weekend, there are activities that are located within each dorm. And here's a photograph of students enjoying dorm life. Since boarding school life includes a significant amount of time spent in the dormitory with friends, with roommates, with every evening there's a study hall before a class day the next day. So dorm life is an area where the school emphasizes friendships between students and connections between faculty and students. Every dorm has a minimum of 3 faculty who have a dorm relationship, and at least 2 faculty who with their families live in the dormitories. So this is a significant part of school life.
Okay, thanks, Steve. I might need your help on a little bit on this one if you hear any mistake. 首先呢，这个老师讲的是 dorm life，因为 dorm life 这个大多数学生的时间其实都是在他们的 dorm 里边儿，所以这个要把 dorm 这个就是宿舍生活变得多姿多彩，那是肯定是学校义不容辞的。然后呢 ，Tabor 整个有15个这样的就是宿舍，然后每个宿舍大概有15到20个学生。那我这个问一下那个Steve 老师 ，So how many students per room? Or
1 or 2. If you come as an international 9th grade student, you will be in a double and you'll have an American roommate. At grades 10, 11, and 12, we assign rooms by a lottery, and there are both single and double rooms available.
OK，老师这个解释一下，如果你是9年级从中国来的话，那为了让你可以更融入的话，学校会把你安排在一个2人房间、双人房间，然后你的室友会是一个当地的美国人。如果你是这个就是学龄大一些，在11、12年级的话，其实你可以单人也可以双人，然后怎么决定呢？就是抽签来决定。这老师说的。然后在这个宿舍了，每一个周末都有不同的活动，为了让学生的生活更多姿多彩，然后相互学习。像这个照片就是一些这个不同的学生在应该聊这个杂志吧，还是一些学科的事情，看起来然后呢，每一个 dorm 就刚才说15个 dorm，每个 dorm 都有3个老师在里边扎住着，为了第一是监护学生，为了安全，然后为了跟学生这个互动，有什么事情可以帮助他们。And Steve, the part I missed after you said there's 3 faculties per dorm, and then you said something in addition. Sorry, I didn't catch that part.
It's that the dorms, some of those faculty may live in houses either on campus or off campus, but most dorms have 2 or 3 faculty who live in the dorm with their families.
OK，因为这个3个的话，其实可能会有老师就是有些老师他不住在那儿，但是呢，一般的话会有两个老师会跟他们的家庭甚至住在这儿。And when you talk about families, you're talking about like husband, wife, and even kids, right, Steve?
Correct.
OK，就是这个有2位老师平均会跟他们的，比如说丈夫、妻子和孩子就住在学生的当中，那所以整个的话都会感觉一个大家庭的氛围。
And the next 2 slides I'd like to combine. One is of a visual art in our art studio, and the second is of a rower in a cruise shell. And these are both part of our afternoon program. So every student, you as a new student, before you arrive, will sign up and choose an afternoon activity by season. We call these co-curricular, meaning that they go along with the academic part of the school. So in the fall, you have sports to choose from, and you also have team activities in other areas, such as dance or Tabor Boy or music alternative. These are great opportunities to both to develop skills and to make friends. Being on a team and competing against other schools is a great experience. You also may want to try something new. The boy in this photograph from China had never rowed in a shell before. This is a spring sport. He took it up and he was on the varsity team by the time he was a senior. I had an advisee from a few years ago from Taipei. She had never sailed before. She asked me in the fall, can I do sailing? I'm interested in it. I want to learn to sail. So she did one of our fall programs, which introduces students to different sports. And then in the spring, she went out for the sailing team. She didn't know what kind of clothing or equipment she needed. So we found a sailor. She asked what she needed, and she became a sailor. By the time she was a senior, she was also on the sailing team. For performing arts, which includes music and drama, we are this time of year, we're quite busy. I attended the production of fall drama, which was excellent, a few weeks ago. And this Saturday morning, the whole school will attend, after a special breakfast, a holiday breakfast, we will attend the winter concert, which is performed by the choral groups and also the wind and string ensembles. So these are a lot of opportunities to develop skills outside of academics that can be a meaningful part of a school experience.
Great. Again, I'll give it a shot, Steve. So just to clarify, so when you pick something, it could be between sports, art, and musical. Is that correct? I just want to get that out of the way. When you pick a afternoon activity.
Yes, and there's quite a big selection. For instance, there's dance. There's a dance team. There's photography. You can be part of the photo pool. But as you said, sports are probably about half, maybe a little more of the options that are available. And then the arts, performing and visual arts are also there are several choices in those areas.
Okay, got it. Okay, I'll make this a little bit briefer for the sake of time. And这个 Steve 老师说了，就是学校很在乎学生的这个多元化，因为这也是申请每本大学的这个招生官会看的，因为不只是学习这个学生的高中生活，所以呢，他们会让学生一上来从9年级开始，你就要选这个3个季节的秋季、春季秋季、冬季、春季的活动。然后这些活动可以包括这个体育，可以包括艺术，艺术有表演艺术，有视觉艺术，还有这个音乐这3个方面。当然了，50%的学生都会这个选择体育的一方面，因为他们有很多体的项目，包括这个就是之前的国际学生参加这个 canoeing 这个划桨的这个俱乐部。然后老师还说了，之前有一个老师记得非常清楚，有一个台北来的女生，然后她呢其实他不会任何体育，也不会使帆，但是呢，他的秋季呢参加一个俱乐部，这个俱乐部呢就是介绍不同的体育项目给新生的，他参加这个，但是呢，老师说其实这个建立了他的勇气和自信，然后在春季呢，他就真正参加了这个帆船俱乐部然后也最后一直到他12年级都是在这个帆船俱乐部，最后也取得了很好的成绩，所以老师也为他很自豪。然后我刚才又问了，其实学生有很多选择，包括舞蹈包括摄影等等都是选择。然后Steve 老师还说他刚参加了前几周的一个叫 Production of Fall Drama， 就是他的这个戏剧表演这个就是说应该是一个很大型的，大家应该准备了很久，就是这个秋季的戏剧表演。然后呢，在冬季呢，他们还会有一个这个交响乐，然后一个 非常丰富多彩。然后具体的这个项目一一说了，大家之后可以关注一下 Tabor 的网站啊。So Steve, I'm saying if they want specifics, they can go on the Tabor Academy website. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Thank you. And as we there are two more slides quickly, and then a short video. It seems funny when you're applying to boarding school, maybe you're in grade 8 or grade 9, to be looking 4 years ahead to colleges. But it is a question and a part of high school life to be thinking about where you will head after your high school experience is finished. These are for international students, the schools to which they went, the schools where they matriculated after Tabor. And you'll see it's quite an impressive list. There are schools that are world famous on the list. There are also schools that reflect special interests. Students who wanted to attend a marine science program, or a program in the arts, the visual arts, or a program that had especially well-known or especially deep STEM courses. Our goal for college matriculation is to work with each student to help them identify the college that will be the best match for them. Every student has a college advisor, a Tabor College advisor, assigned at the beginning of 11th grade year. We have 5 college advisors, and they are specialists in college advising. We also do trips to local universities for international students in the fall of their 12th grade year. We go to Boston and Providence area universities so that students, if they're not able to travel to do college visits over the summer, can see some of the colleges. So this captures, I think, some of the emphasis and the care with which we work to help students prepare for the next phase of their studies.
这个的话是我见过愿意提供最详细的一个这个名单，就是家长很在乎的。这个 Steve 老师也提前回答了我们之前家长的一些大部分家长可能的一个问题，就是学生去了哪儿？那这个老师已经写的非常详细了，而且是过去4年。非常感谢这个 Steve 老师这么这个直接的就把这个名单给了我们，感谢。然后，但主要呢，他想说就是学生其实有多种兴趣爱好哈，就尤其是很多学校就是可能大家在里边可以看到，就是会在海洋生物方面非常突出的，因为我们都知道学校有综合排名，对吧？但是有专业排名。就像我们之前有学生，他非常喜欢海洋生物，结果去了这个 University of Miami， 也是海洋生物排名第1的。所以就是说这个的话这个老师们其实在 Tabor Academy 有5位帮助学生这个升学的 counselor 然后他们从11年级下半学期应该就是开始了，然后会一直帮助学生，包括他们12年级还会带学生在波士顿这个附近会有这个参观大学这波士顿大学我就不多说了，大家都知道是哪几所。然后就是说按照学生的兴趣爱好提早就帮他们规划，所以我觉得这点是做得非常到位。谢谢 Steve 老师。
And this photograph is a scene from our new international student orientation in early September. And it's one of many pieces of how Tabor emphasizes and makes good use of our global and international connections. These are new international students mixed with global partners. And throughout the year, we offer programs that are designed to make international and global an essential part of the school. One example of this is we have 2 new students from the Ukraine this year. And as new students, we because Ukraine is in the headlines for the troubles in that part of the world. And after a couple of months in November, these students asked if they could share their experiences, not so much in a political sense, but what their families had experienced during the past year. So we did they made an announcement at all school meeting, and then they did an evening presentation and answered questions, which was well attended. It was optional. So through the year, we encourage and give a stage, if you will, to all the different pieces and parts and cultures that are joined together at Tabor. It really is remarkable that we have students from 19 countries around the world. And our hope is that both they share their backgrounds with the school, and the school opens its hearts and its minds to their experiences.
Thank you, Steve. 这里其实我开始发言之前，其实我想说，这个 Tabor Academy 真的给我是一个非常热爱国际这个文化的一个学校啊。之前这个老师没说，但是我知道可以这个给大家提一下。其实 Tabor Academy 有5位像 Steve 一样老师一样会说中文的，包括校长啊，所以给大家这个一个小秘密透露一个。然后呢，这个老师是想指出来，在这个3天就是新生做 orientation 的时候呢，然后有2个去年是从 Ukraine 来的乌克兰来的 Ukraine， 然后呢，其实他们就是给他们机会在自己的舞台上可以给大家分享不是政治冲突，但是就他们的家庭在过去的2年是怎么经历这个就是乌克兰和俄罗斯的这个战争的，所以呢，就是他们很愿意让所有学生都能分享到这些一手的国际文化和信息，也是非常关注学生和他们的独特点，每个人都会得到重视，所以我觉得这个是Tabor Academy 非常重视的，因为每年他们的学生其实像前几年都是至少来自于19个不同的国家，然后他们会尊重每一个国家的文化，然后我觉得中国家长们也可以放心了，有这个像 Steve 这样的老师和另外4位老师，尤其都在中国待过像 Steve 老师刚才忘说了，他在昆明这个待过，还教过书，所以大家应该听起来非常开心。
Thank you, Diego. Thank you for adding those items. I'm going, if I may, I'm going to switch the share screen over to a short video.
最后一个Steve 老师想留给我们的一个录像。
And then I have 2 questions. I think we talked about college matriculation, but there are a couple of other questions I'll briefly.
I'll ask you later, right after the video.
Okay. So just give me a second here.
Thank you, Steve.
Yep. Screen. And so I'm going to put up this video. Tell me if there's any, please tell me if I need to adjust it.
Okay. Yep, I can hear it. It's loud and clear.
Great.
勇敢的水手是真正的男儿，总是一副弱不禁风孬种的样子，在受人欺负的时候，总是听见水手说，他说风雨中这点痛算什么，擦干泪不要怕，至少我们还有梦。他说风雨中这点痛算什么，擦干泪不要问为什么。
OK， 好好，这个做的绝了，那个 Steve 老师这个视频，这个天下第一视频。OK， 谢谢 Steve 老师。I noticed three things. Just to be brief, one thing. Last year there was somebody went to our school Northwestern. 有学生去了西北大学，我发现也是这个我花老师、Jim 老师还有 Marcy 老师的学校。然后第二呢，我看见春节大家在包饺子。Right, Steve？ 大家一起在包饺子，我觉得这个太感动了。然后还有就是 KTV 啊，中国学生的最爱。然后这个水手，这个跟 Tabor Academy 也非常匹配。我刚才忍不住这个把视频打开了，跟着一起唱了一段啊，不好意思。Okay, I guess we're ready to the question section, Steve. Yeah,
Sure.
To save time. You already answered matriculation question. That's one of the important questions. I guess the second most important is okay, we love Tabor Academy. How do we get in? And let's be realistic, okay, for the Chinese parents because competition is tough. So 跟着加上我已经给这个 Steve 老师已经说了，就是说一定要真实的告诉我们中国学生怎么进，因为大家都知道中国学生这个竞争很激烈，所以一定要老师说实话啊。这个 Steve 也拜托说实话，比如说每年有多少中国学生申请，然后呢录取几个中国学生，他们的平均成绩是什么样的啊？谢谢。
Sure. Well, I'll try. I have a couple of thoughts about to answer the question. How do I get in, or how does a student get in?
Right.
There's a range of materials that we ask candidates to supply. We do ask for a 100 for students from mainland China. We ask for a 100 plus TOEFL score, and we ask students to do a Vericant interview, which they will send to us, and then our admission office will advise them on the next steps. As we review applications, we look at we do all of this. We look at school materials, including the school report and the teacher recommendations and the transcript. We look at the essays that students write. We look at standardized testing scores. We do ask for at least one standardized test, and that could be the TOEFL. Students often also send us an SSAT score because that's because of that it is competitive. It's a competitive process. And the interview, the Tabor interview, this is after the Vericant interview, the Tabor interview gets quite a bit of weight. And the reason it gets a lot of weight is that one way to think about our application process is the testing, like SSAT, or the grades, tell us something about who you are now, what you can do, what your academic skills are like, what your personal growth is like. We're really trying to figure out who you might become. Who might you become a sailor 3 or 4 years from now? Might you develop special academic interests? Might you become a class leader in one way or other? Might you start a new club that would contribute to the community? And honestly, that's a bit challenging to figure out. The test scores are a kind of an easy way to measure your skills and your preparation for coming to a boarding school like Tabor. But we're really trying to understand your openness to growth, your willingness to try new things, your acceptance of failure, that sometimes you may try something and it doesn't work out, and that's all right. And one way an image that I'd like to offer for this is, if we took all the TOEFL scores for students who apply from China, and we ranked them from highest to lowest. So last year we accepted 17 students from China. We enrolled 13. So of the 17 we accepted, 13 chose Tabor, which we're very grateful for.
Very good skill rate. Yeah.
Four students chose other schools, and we're happy for them too. We're happy they found a good fit school. So those 17 students that we accepted, where are they on this TOEFL ladder?
Right.
Are they the top 17 TOEFL scores? Are they all a mixture? In other words, TOEFL doesn't matter. And the answer is there's a clump at or near the top. We love the students with those high scores. It says something significant about them. And then there's another pretty significant group out of those 17 that are scattered through maybe the top half, possibly the top third. And they had something in their life, their experiences, their school life, their skills, their interests. Often it is something that the interviewer spotted, which is why I mentioned the importance of the interview, the Tabor interview, that led us to believe that we would be a good place for them, that we would be a good place to promote their growth, and they would enrich the school. They would do something to make us a happier and a more successful place. Sometimes that's a very specific skill. A kid is a great cellist. They play the cello. They're also have a strong personality, and they're strong academically, and they do some other things. And other times it's more a general fit. They may do several things. They might not be number one, but they do several things well, and they're ready to bring those skills and that personality to the school community.
Okay. So now question before I translate, Steve. So the top, you're saying the top chunk, what are those TOEFL score look like? And like the bottom ones you accepted, what was the lowest TOEFL score that was accepted? Can you comment a little bit on that?
For a student from mainland China, you must have a 100 TOEFL score to apply. So the bottom is 100. The top is, TOEFL goes up to 120. So the top group is like maybe 115, 16, 17,
okay.
18.
So like the top chunk you said is about like the 115 range, right? You said there's a chunk of student you like them, and then there's like the bottom 1/3. So those are about like 105. You say like from 100 to or
sure, 105 to 110 maybe.
Okay.
Or no. Yeah.
Okay, how about SSAT? What was the score like an average Chinese student, or the range? You can give me a range as well.
For enrolled students, the math SSAT overall percentile is usually 90% plus, and the English percentile is usually 80% plus. We do look at kids, however, that have below that, and occasionally there's a convincing case for them. But if you look through the scores for the 17, the great majority have 90 or higher on math and 80.
Okay.
This is percentile, not raw score.
Right. Correct. Okay. Got it. Okay. I'll translate that for now. Very detailed. Thank you, Steve. 这个去年有17个学生被录取了啊，然后这个13个最后进了这个 Tabor Academy。然后呢，这个老师说也非常直接了，就是因为这家长很关心这个，就是中国学生是什么样的录取的，最低分数是100，老师说不到100托福就不会考虑了啊，那这个其实挺直白的。然后大部分的话，就是最高的话其实是在110、115左右，那他录取的一部分是在这个区间。然后呢，底下的话差不多在105左右啊，这个老师说的，当然可能不是整105了，就是在105左右。因为这一部分学生呢，为什么呢？因为他们可以给 Tabor Academy 展示他们的独特性。因为老师说的这个真的我觉得非常好，他说这些分数等等 GPA 其实只是告诉 Tabor Academy 你现在的情况是什么样，就是你现在此时此刻的能力，但是他并没有告诉就是你以后的能力是什么样。所以呢，他们会很在乎，这也是乐见一直强调，就是我们把一些学术等等，因为大家的孩子分数都很好，所以这个我们把它通称为 IQ。那其实很多美国不管是高中大学在乎的是你的潜力，就是 what will you become in the future， 就是你未来可以成为什么样的人才，这个很重要。就你的天花板在哪儿啊？就是现在的话只是你目前的成就，但是天花板是根据你的自身的情商和一些软实力造就的，这个我非常同意。这个也是为什么我们这个努力打造孩子的独特性和培养他的这个特长。 那这个老师说了，他的潜力呢，可以从几个方面看到，比如说他会不会是成为以后班级的领导者，比如说那个 Student Council President 啊，就是这种的领导职位，他会不会这个在整个的 Tabor 的这个学校环境，甚至这个小区、这个城市来有贡献，来对这个社会有这个社区社会有奉献。第三呢，他是不是很能接受失败啊？就是他逆商强不强？他是不是可能 open 可以接受新的事物？因为毕竟有17个国家的学生，包括美国当地的学生。那如果你要不能接受新的事物的话，那你可能在 Tabor 就不太适合啊。这个也是学校想看到的。然后还有就是你能不能跌倒能爬起来，因为这样的话也会成就一个学生的最终的天花板和他的成就。然后呢，还有一个就是说，那我只能招17个学生，我不用问老师，我也能猜出可能有上100多个学生申请，因为大概率是这样的一个数字，100到200个学生申请。那学生的成绩都是在托福在100以上，为什么要录取就是这个咱们的学生呢？那就是肯定是他能给学校带来什么，他有什么独特性，他有什么独特的兴趣爱好跟别人不一样，然后可以这个不管是让其他的学生，甚至让老师和学校都因为这个学生到来可以受益，可以得到成长啊。This is what Tabor looks for。所以这个非常感谢 Steve 老师说的非常具体啊。
Thank you, Diego. I appreciate all your translations, and your excellent memory.
I hope I didn't make too many mistakes.
No, I think you probably said it better than I did.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. For the sake of time, do you want to make one last comment? And if the parents wants the video and maybe part of your presentation, with your permission, you can tell me later. I can pass it along to them if they want to have look at like the data you put it in your slide. Yeah.
Sure. I guess my final, I have two things for my final
Okay.
comment. One, I believe that safety and care are high on the list of for parents.
Right.
Will my kid be safe? And will they get care from faculty? And it is on our minds all the time that every situation anywhere in the world has risk. So our goal is to reduce risk. We repeatedly have kept our campus open during the coronavirus. I can't make a prediction for the future, but last March for our long spring vacation, we had 41 students who stayed on campus and we provided care and activities for them. In June, we had 13 students who could not travel home, so we remained open for them. And
wow.
this Thanksgiving, we had 9 students who were not able to find, they did not have a homestay and could not travel home, so we were open for them. I don't mean to guarantee that we'll always be open during vacations, but we do care a lot about this. And the other thing I'll mention is it's a very specific example, but I do live on campus in this small town of Marion, and we have all of the buildings, the dormitories, the academic center, they all have locks on them. Students use, we call them prox cards, proximity cards to open the doors. The school building, the house that I live in is close to the athletic center. My doors are open because of the sense of safety and security on the campus.
Okay.
And the other is I just wanted to say that as I meet families, and some families are fortunately able to visit the campus and sometimes not. I'm just aware of what an adventure it is to apply to a prep school. It kind of, if you describe it briefly, it sounds nice. Oh, see the beautiful campus and meet some new people. In fact, it really is a great effort. And I'm really grateful. We are grateful to the parents and to the kids who go through this. And I think you are already finding that you will know more about not only schools, but about yourself when you're done with this. So I appreciate the chance to talk with you today.
Yeah, okay, let me translate that. Actually, I forgot to translate one thing which a parent asked online. 所以确实他们需要一个就是 standardized test， 就是那个标准化考试，然后 SSAT 是一项。刚才 Steve 说了，大部分中国学生平均分数这个数学部分是90%或以上， 然后英语部分是80%和以上啊，所以回答一下您问题。刚才谢谢提醒，因为刚才我漏了这一点啊 ，Steve 老师已经回答了。然后呢，最后呢 ，Steve 老师最后的这个想给我们留下的就是关于安全，因为他觉得每个家长其实把孩子送到那么远都会很考虑安全。这个的话，其实我觉得他觉得学校做的最好的是。我其实个人知道很多美国学校并没有把这个学校给打开，在这个疫情情况下，而是把它关上了，所以导致学生都没地方去。但 Steve 老师说了，在这个 coronavirus 新冠病毒的这几年，学校从来没有关他的这个校门，然后把学生给赶出去，因为尤其很多中国学生他没法回到中国，所以呢，不管是这个今年的6月份。还是这个感恩节，还是今年和去年的感恩节，学生呢具体sorry， 这个想一下具体学生数目我刚刚忘了，但不重要，就是想留在这个学校的校园的学生都允许他们留在了校园，也给他提供一个非常安全可靠的住处和就是可以停留的，因为很多学生我知道我们有在加州的高中的学生，其实他还让老师帮他这个感恩节找了一个临时的住处，因为学校就是直接关了。因为这些其实这种美国大的节日，比如说感恩节、圣诞节，其实老师们也基本都回家了，所以这个 Tabor Academy 能把校园为这个国际学生打开，我觉得这一点就这种关怀的态度，我觉得值得被赞赏。然后 Steve 老师也说了，这个每个校园的门都有一个叫 Plexi Card， 就是一个磁卡，然后学生可以用它来这个开校园的门，所以都是每个这个楼都会有很好的防范措施。然后并且呢，它整个这个 Marion 这个城市就4000人，老师也说了非常安全。然后 Steve 老师呢，他的家其实他门都不锁就是因为非常安全，所以这个自己都可以这样做的话，说明这个整个城市、整个校园都是家长不用担心的。所以呢，在此呢，这个今天老师的这个今天的问题 ，Steve 老师，感谢您都回答了接下来我就说中文了，因为您的中文这个也非常好，所以 Steve 老师再强调一下，这个 Tabor Academy 是我见到的，真的就是老师这个非常热情，然后真的是对国际学生很好。如果学生那个家长有幸过去的话，我也可以推荐那个 Steve 老师来这个带你看看校园或者他们的其他的老师。在这里呢，我想再一次感谢 Steve 老师。然后 Steve 老师，如果你那个 PPT 要方便给这个需要的家长的话，到时候我会传达一下帮你。然后 OK， 那今天晚上呢，乐见直播间就到此为止。今天呢是我们的 Tabor Academy 的 AP 老师和招生办的这个老师Steve 所以今天感谢 Steve 老师。希望呢 ，So when we have parents, we'll make sure if we have good students, we'll make sure you know about them and send it your way. Yeah.
Thank you, Diego. It's a real pleasure thank you for the invitation to join your families. 欢迎大家来到我们校园，欢迎。
OK， 感谢 Steve 老师。那今天乐见顶级美高寄宿高中直播间就到此结束了欢迎下次收听。OK， 再见 Steve。
Thank you，再见。